All righty. Peace to the so-called Black nation. Peace, 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 peace to the so-called Black nation, or actually the biblical Israelites. It is me, Brother Micah, here with another episode of Spirit and Truth. Today, I want to look at the church fathers. All right. Today, I want to look at the church fathers. We want to see whether these men are men that were ordained by the Most High God, or are men that have indeed ordained themselves, infiltrated the minds of God's people, the so-called Negroes, the Israelites, and set up Satan's church in the name of the Most High, right? So we are going to look at the historical record and pair that with the scriptures to see if these church fathers are good or they are evil. Just give me a second here. I just want to make sure everything's good. Yeah. All right. Everything's good there. All right. Welcome to everybody who will watch in the future. And the whole purpose of this lesson is for you to learn the truth of the Most High and to start following the Most High God right now. Because religion and the state have not taught the truth about God. They never have and they never will. But we who are ordained by God, according to the scriptures, Psalms 148, 19 to 20, we teach the truth of the Most High. And the sincere amongst us are only interested in teaching the truth of the Most High. We're not interested in teaching our own doctrines. And so you can trust that we, the men of God, who are ordained to teach the truth and who teach it in spirit and truth, are only interested in the salvation of God's people. Without further ado, let's begin. Our first question is, who are the church fathers? All right. Who are the church fathers? All right. Let's read a bit about the church fathers here. This is from Wikipedia. This is the reference here. Byzantium iconoclasm Byzantium, I apologize. Okay, this is just a reference. I do apologize. This is our first reference on the church and Christian life in our time. Okay, readings from the Eastern Church, Roman and Littlefield, page 70. All right. So it reads, the church fathers, early church fathers, Christian fathers, okay, or fathers of the church were ancient and influential Christian theologians. All right. Who were they? Ancient and influential Christian theologians. All right. What is a Christian theologian? Well, it says Christian theology is the theology, the systematic study of the divine and religion. Pay attention to these key words, all right? A lot of what happens in the Christian church and among the Black community is people don't pay attention, and they definitely don't closely pay attention. But God said the only way to understand the Bible is in Isaiah 28, verse 9 and 10, to go precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. What does that mean? You got to pay attention. You gotta watch the details. Hear a little, sometimes a word, the difference in a word uh, will give you, is the difference sometimes between truth and lies. So you gotta pay attention. That being said, I want you to pay attention to the fact that I said Christian theologians, or Christian theology, right, is the theology, the systematic study of what the divine and religion. Now, did God even ever say to study religion, right? It says um, of Christian belief and practice, okay? So these Christian theologians, they systematically study the divine, they systematically study religion, okay? And we're going to see if religion is of God. If a theologian is someone that studies religion and religion is not of God, and they're studying, practicing, and teaching religion, are they teaching, are they teachings of God or not? Right? So we're going to look at all of those. We're going to answer these questions in the scriptures. And the Christian theologian, right, brings out the study of Christian belief and practice. All right. It concentrates primarily upon the text of the Old Testament and of the New Testament, okay, as well as on what? Christian tradition, okay? These things are very important. Did God deal with Christianity, a religion, and did God deal with tradition? Does God deal with Christianity? Does God deal with tradition? Okay, we're going to look at these things to see what God has to say in scriptures. So, Christian theologians, they study Christian theology. All right. We know the church fathers. All right. The church fathers, we know they were ancient and influential Christian theologians. Okay. Stay with me. Right. It says here, one second, family. Just trying to, there we go. All right. So, is God dealing with religious tradition, right? These Christian theologians, they study what? Christian tradition. We just looked at that, all right? So, is God dealing with Christian tradition, man? Right? And not just Christian, but is he dealing with any religious tradition, right? Well, the answer is in these two scriptures. Let's go to Matthew 15. Right? Matthew 15, and we'll read from verse 1 to 6. It says, Then came Yahushai. I'm saying Yahushai because his name is not Jesus. Okay, Jesus is the absolute worst name that you could call the Savior. All right, Jesus is actually the name of the image of the beast when you study it. All right, the name of the Messiah is Yahushai. All right, so you will not hear me saying Jesus in my studies at all. All right. Jesus is actually the English translation of the Latin translation or transliteration of the Greek Iesus of the shortened Hebrew form of Yahushai or Yehoshua in modern Hebrew, which is made up, okay, is a shortened form of Yehoshua, which is Yeshua, You get the picture. Let's break it down again. Jesus is the English translation of the Latin translation or transliteration of the Greek transliteration of the shortened form of the lengthened Hebrew, the normal Hebrew name, or the translated or transliterated Hebrew name of Yahawashi. You see how many steps you have to go to get to Jesus? That's not his name. Okay? His name is Yahawashi. In fact, the letter J was not even invented until the 15th century. So if you really wanted to say his actual name, even in the shortened form, it wouldn't be Jesus. At the very least, it would be Yeshua, if you want to go with modern Hebrew, or Yahshua, okay? Because they're just guessing which vowels were in there, all right? So according to homework, according to study.com, until the year 1524, there was no letter J in the alphabet. The letter J was originally the same letter as I. The father of the letter J is Gian Giorgio Trissino, an Italian author and grammarian who lived from 1478 to 1550, okay? And the I actually had the Y sound. So if you really wanted to say his name, you would go with Yeshua or Yahshua, and you definitely would not say Jesus, because again, Jesus is the name of the image of the beast, okay, mentioned in Revelation, I believe 13 and Revelation 14 as well. I digress. Then came to Yahawashi scribes and Pharisees, which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? Let's go back here. The church fathers are theologians. Theologians study Christian tradition and religion, okay, and the divine. They study Christian tradition. Is God dealing with Christian tradition according to the Bible? Yahushua came to the scribes and Pharisees which were of Jerusalem, saying, why do thy disciples, scribes and Pharisees which were of Jerusalem, So the scribes and Pharisees were saying, why do thy disciples transgress the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread. But he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition? This is key. Christianity, and you will see as we study, the church fathers consistently transgress the commandment of God by their traditions. For example, God said, learn not the way of the heathen in Jeremiah 10, 1-4. But Christianity keeps Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Valentine's Day, and any number of other heathen festivals, man. They keep it. They support it. They advertise it. Some of them even popularized it, man.
They are now also keeping LGBTQ,
right?
Pride times, all these things. You go, every church nowadays has rainbow flags out in front of them. They say they're all inclusive. They say all this nonsense.
Yep.
They do drag story time. They do all this type of foolishness.
Come as you are, they tell you. When the Most High commands every man to repent, they tell you, come as you are, right? That's not of the Most High. That's transgressing the commandment of the Most High for the sake of your traditions, right? Reading on, it says, for Yahweh commanded, saying, honor thy father. So Yahweh Shai is about to break down the exact commandment that they are transgressing because of their tradition. Yahweh commanded, saying, honor thy father and mother, and he that kills their father or mother, let him die the death. But you say, whosoever shall say to his father or mother, it is a gift, by whatsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father or mother, he shall be free. Thus have you made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition. See that? So these guys, what they were doing is, if your parents needed help and you're like, well, it's a gift, for the temple, then you don't have to give it to your mother or father, you bring it to the temple. Yahweh Shai said, that's off, man. The Most High said, honor your father and your mother. Give it to them before you bring it to the temple. So, is the Most High dealing with Christian tradition? Well, so far in Matthew 15, 1-6, hell no. He's not. He's not dealing with traditions. He wasn't dealing with the scribes and Pharisees traditions. And he's not going to deal with Christian or any other religious tradition either. He deals with his word, right? Let's go to Colossians 2 and verse 8. Bro, if you want to do some reading, let me know, okay? It says, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Beware lest any man, okay, spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, okay? After what? The tradition of men. So if you're following the Most High, you got to look out really closely for the traditions of men. The Christian has to look out for the traditions of men. Christianity is a man's tradition. God never sanctioned Christianity. That's what we're going to see as we study these church fathers. The Most High never sanctioned any religion. These are all the traditions of men, okay? And the Most High said here in the book of Colossians, beware lest any man spoil you, man, after their own traditions. Even when you come and you start walking in the truth of the Most High as an Israelite, men will still try to spoil you on their traditions, man. You gotta still read, study your Bible and understand it for yourself, given your foundations. It says, after the rudiments of the world, right? The brother just brought up that, hey, listen, man, they're even into LGBTQ now, man. Right? This is how you start to recognize them. They're okay with the rudiments of the world, man. If you follow these people and their traditions that are after the rudiments of the world, they will destroy you, man. They will spoil you. What do you do with spoiled stuff? You throw it away. The Most High gonna throw you away, right? If you deal with these people's, if you allow these people to spoil you through their traditions, right? To the tradition of men after the rudiments of the world, man, and not after Christ, right? So you want to know what you should be and shouldn't be doing? Follow Christ. Christ came to fulfill the law. You have to follow what he said. Don't follow Moses. Follow Christ. Christ did not follow Moses. Christ gave you the perfect understanding of Moses. Moses gave you the foundation. Christ gave you the spirit of this law that Moses brought, right? That's why I specifically say here, don't let these people, what do you call it, spoil you after their own traditions and the rudiments of the world, man, right? Instead, look to Christ, man. Look to the Messiah, the true black Messiah, not the beast, right? That the church promotes, right? So let's read on a little bit. It says, I want to highlight this piece from the reading, that they established the intellectual and doctrinal foundations of Christianity. It says here, the church fathers, early church fathers, Christian fathers or fathers of the church were ancient and influential Christian theologians and writers who established the intellectual, there we go, who established the intellectual and doctrinal foundations of Christianity. Family. The church fathers established the intellectual and doctrinal foundations of Christianity. Okay? When did the Most High give men to establish the intellectual and doctrinal foundations of salvation, man? When did he say create Christianity and then have these Greek men establish the intellectual and doctrinal foundations of it, man? Where's that in the Bible? Right? It's not there. Now they try to mask it as, oh, these traditions come directly down from the disciples. Well, it's simply not true, right? I don't want to take time to go find it now because, you know, I probably will not find it so quickly. But when you look into a couple of the most important church fathers, hey, it tells you straight up these guys lied about having being taught by the disciples, man. Because the disciples died about the year 100, and by about 150, these particular church fathers had already, you know, established their schools, man, right, teaching their particular philosophies, right? This might be what I'm looking for. I'm just gonna have a quick gander. Let's see. According to Jerome, is this it? 1 second. One second. Okay. Yeah, this is not it. Anyway, I wonder if it's here. One quick sec. Mm, mm, mm. One sec. This is a little piece of it. It's a little piece of it, but nothing too substantial. Okay. Well, we'll move on. Because the scriptures will show exactly what's going on with these guys, all right? I'll just read this little piece though. This is about Clement of Alexandria. All right, Clement of Alexandria, okay, considered one of the church fathers, okay. Titus Flavius Clemens, also known as Clement of Alexandria, was a Christian theologian, there we go again, and philosopher, man. Now, didn't the Most High say, be careful lest any man spoil you through philosophy, man? Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. But yet, one of your church fathers, more than one, right? This particular church father, it says he was a philosopher, man. And he taught at the Cati, ca, ca, catech, catechetical school of Alexandria. All right. What was that school? A school of Christian theologians, bishops, and deacons in Alexandria. Okay. Students and teachers and students of the school were influential in many of the early theological controversies of the Christian church, man. This particular school, right? It says among his pupils were Origen, another man considered one of the church fathers, man, and Alexander of Jerusalem. All right. The man, look, it says he was a convert. He was a convert to a religion called Christianity. Where in the Bible does the Most High promote Christianity, man? He never promotes Christianity. Okay. It says he was an educated man who was familiar with classical Greek philosophy. This is your church father that God said, don't listen to philosophers. This man, he's educated in classical Greek philosophy and also literature. It says, as his three major works demonstrate, Clement was influenced by Hellenistic philosophy. The man who's supposed to teach you about God is influenced by Hellenistic, which is Greek philosophy. This is totally against what God says in the scriptures, to a greater extent than any other Christian thinker of his time. This is your church father, people, and in particular by Plato. Plato was a major influence on your church father, right? Who came about and created the doctrinal foundations of Christianity, man. Realize what's going on here, family. You're being duped. And I will show you in the scriptures. It says his secret works, which exist only in fragments, suggest that he was familiar with pre-Christian Jewish esotericism and Gnosticism as well. Okay? In one of his works, he argued that Greek philosophy had its origin among non-Greeks, claiming that both Plato and Pythagoras were taught by Egyptian scholars. Clement is usually regarded as a what? A church father, man. Right? He was revered in Western Catholicism until 1586, when his name was removed from the Roman martyrology by Pope Sixtus V on the advice of Baronius. Okay. The Eastern Orthodox Church officially stopped any veneration of Clement by the 10th century. Don't get tricked. This is just Clement. The story is the same for many of the others, which we're going to look at today. I think Irenaeus was another one as well. But let's go through the study. Okay. Doctrinal foundations of Christianity. Actually, let's see. Let's see here. Polycarp, Christian bishop, He had been a disciple of John. The options, possibilities for John are John, the son of Zebedee, traditionally viewed as the author of Gospel of John, or John the Presbyter. Traditionally, advocates follow Eusebius of Caesarea in insisting that the apostolic connection of Polycarp was John the Evangelist, and he was the author of the Gospel, and thus the Apostle John. So they're saying this guy Polycarp, another church father, was definitely the Apostle of John. Okay. Polycarp tried and failed to persuade Pope Anicetus to have the West celebrate Passover on the 14th of Nisan, as in the Eastern calendar. Around AD 155, the Smyrnans of his town demanded Polycarp's execution as a Christian. He died a martyr. Story of his martyrdom described how the fire built around him would not burn him, and that when he was stabbed to death, so much blood issued from his body that it quenched the flames around him. Okay, and that's a bag of foolishness. All right, this is not the account I wanted to read concerning Polycarp. Was it this guy here? 1 second. Ignatius of Antioch. Let's see. I have this right here, you know, 1 second. There we go. I apologize, you guys. I wasted all of that time there. It's all good. All right. So let's look at some of the opinions of the various church fathers. So number 1, Augustine, which I think is here. Augustine. All right. Augustine of Hippo, Aurelius Augustinus Hipponensis, so on and so forth, also known as Saint Augustine. Okay, this is Saint Augustine. This is a saint. Well, according to the Most High, here's the saints, right? According to the Most High, here are the saints. Psalm 148, verse 14, he also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints. Who are the saints of God? His people, man. It makes it plain and says, even of the children of Israel, a people near unto him. Praise ye Yahweh. So the Most High saints are his people, the children of Israel. That's who his saints are. It's not who the Catholic Church says a saint is, man. It's not who Christianity that was invented by these men says a saint is. This is not Saint Augustine, man. This is Augustine the devil, man. This is Augustine the deceiver, right? How we know? It says he was a theologian, and we go again, with traditions, and a philosopher. Here we go again, contravening Colossians 2 and 8, right? Of Berber origin. Okay, was this man a Israelite? Hell no, man. You know, it says he was the bishop of Hippo Regius in Numidia, Roman North Africa. His writings influenced the development of Western philosophy. So the man who's supposed to teach you about righteousness, his writings influence Western philosophy, family. There he is, one of your church fathers, man. Also what? Western Christianity. So that shows you this religion is wicked, man. It's mixed up with philosophy, man. right? And we're going to see what kind of religion the Most High approves of as we go through this study. It says, he is viewed as one of the most important church fathers of the Latin Church in the patristic period. Now, the patristic period is the period from I believe it says from when Christ gave the disciples the Holy Spirit up until what, 400? One sec here. The period of the church fathers, commonly called the patristic era, is generally considered to run from the end of the New Testament times or the end of the apostolic age, AD 100, because John, I believe, died in 99 AD, to either 451, the date of the Council of Chalcedon, or the Second Council of Nicaea in 787. Okay, so the patristic period is generally considered to run from the end of the New Testament times. So from time John died onward is called the patristic era, right? Isn't that convenient? From the time John died, all of a sudden, randoms, right, begin to form schools with their philosophies and create religion to save people. Keep looking with a critical eye, and you're going to see exactly what's going on. So this guy is one of the most important church fathers of the late Latin Church in the period right after John died, man. Okay? His many important works include The City of God, On Christian Doctrine and Confessions. There you are with your theologian, okay, breaking down and forming religions for you, and your philosopher, man, influencing Western philosophy. There you go, Christian. That's the roots of your religion, man. Right? This is straight evil according to the scriptures, man. Let's go back. So we can also read about Eusebius of Caesarea. Here's what Eusebius of Caesarea had to say. And I'm going to read you a quick quote from Augustine, what Augustine had to say about Plato. Plato is a straight demon, man. Had nothing to do with God. And this is the praise that the church father Augustine had for Plato. He said, the utterance of Plato, the most pure and bright in all philosophy. This is a supposed man of God calling Plato bright, okay, and pure. How does that make any sense, family? How? When God speaks against philosophy, man. And he tells you, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy, man. Right? It doesn't make sense. You're being spoiled through philosophy and vain deceit in these religions. Here's the proof. One of the foundations, your church father says, the utterance of Plato, the most pure and bright in all philosophy, scattering the clouds of error. Plato scatters the clouds of error, man? Or does Plato create error in his thinking? Right? Augustine also said, I found that whatever truth I have read in the Platonists was in the writings of Paul, combined with the exaltation of thy grace. The man said Plato, what he read in Plato was also in the writings of Paul, man. With the exaltation of thy grace. And I believe there he means the grace of Yahawashi, man. Or Jesus Christ, actually, not Yahawashi, because he doesn't know Yahawashi. He knows Jesus, right? The name of the image of the beast. Eusebius, real quick, says, Plato is the only Greek who has attained the porch of Christian truth. One of your other church fathers is Eusebius of Caesarea. See if I can find him here. Eusebius. 1 second. Eusebius. All right. Eusebius of Caesarea. Okay. He was a Greek, Edomite, Syro-Palestinian historian of Christianity, exegete, and Christian polemist. Okay. Polemic is contentious rhetoric intended to support a specific position by forthright claims. All right. In about AD 314, he became the bishop of Caesarea Maritima in the Roman province of Syria, Palestina. All right. In the Roman province of Syria, Palestina, just so you know, the Roman province of Syria, Palestina is referring to Jerusalem. Israel. All right, because after the Romans sacked Jerusalem, they named the place Syria, Palestina. All right. Together with Pamphilus, Eusebius was a scholar of the biblical canon, okay, and is regarded as one of the most learned Christians during late antiquity. All right. Learned from where? The university? That's why you go to learn about God, right? No, man. You learn from those that have the Spirit of the Most High. You learn from the ones that the Most High sent to teach you, man. Let's go to Psalms, I believe it's 148. No, 147. He showeth his word unto Jacob, all right? His statutes and judgments unto Israel. God showed his word to Jacob, man, to the Israelites. And it said, he have not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye Yahweh, man. So David was glad that the Most High had not shown any other nation his word, man, except the Israelites. He was so glad, he said, praise ye Yahweh, man, right? Which is the true name of the Most High God. That's what they replace Lord with. You understand? Or they replace with Lord, okay? Because the name of Yahweh is able to create blessings upon a person when you put his name on them. That's actually how you bless people. You put his name upon them, right? Let's pull that up. I believe this is what I want. Number 627. Should be close to the bottom. And Yahweh said unto Moses, tell Aaron and his sons, this is how you ought to bless the Israelites. You hear how? Here's how. Say to them, may Yahweh bless you and keep you, man. May Yahweh cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Yahweh lift up his countenance toward you and give you peace. That's how you bless an Israelite, man. So they shall put my name. Is God's name Lord? It's not Lord, man. So they shall put my name on the Israelites and I will bless them, right? And I can read Hebrew for y'all watching for the first time and might not know what's going on. When I go to the interlinear, they say Yahweh here in English. That's incorrect. This is Yah, Ha, Ha, okay, Wa, Yahweh. All right, not Yahweh. Right. So that's the name. And that's how you put the blessing. Going back to Eusebius. It says he wrote the demonstrations of the gospel, etc., etc. I just want the fact that he's a church father. Here we go. Let's see here. His work, Onomasticon, is an early geographical lexicon of places in the Holy Land mentioned in the Bible. As here's what is Eusebius was the father of church history. Okay. Where did this guy get this title from? God? The father of church history, man? That's madness. The history of the church, which really means congregation, has been written from day one. God wrote it, not freaking Eusebius, man. All right. So this guy is known as the father of church history. Okay. Not to be confused with the church father. So he was not a church father. I do apologize there, but he was a father of church history. All right. And very influential in the writing of it. All right. He also produced a biographical work on who? Constantine the Great. All right. Why is this important? Constantine the Great was the first Christian emperor, Christian Roman emperor. All right. And when you read about Constantine the Great, Constantine removed the Shabbat day that the Jews were keeping on Saturday, and said, "Hey, listen, Sunday is the Sabbath, okay, and it's the venerable day of the sun, right?" And this man, who's supposed to be the father of church history, is writing, what's the word, in a positive light about the first Christian Roman emperor who destroyed the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High God by setting in stone the tenets of the religion of Christianity, man. Right? Let's get another, more direct, right? Let's get Clement of Alexandria. Right? Let's get Clement of Alexandria. Those who wrote in Greek are called the Greek Church Fathers. In addition to the Apostolic Fathers, famous Greek Fathers include Justin Martyr, Irenaeus of Lyons, Clement of Alexandria. Okay, let's read a little bit about Clement. It says, Titus Flavius Clemens, also known as Clement of Alexandria, was a Christian theologian. Here we have it again, and a philosopher. Family, how, for the last time, can a man teaching righteousness be a Christian theologian, a theologian of religion, a writer and studier and a creator of religion, man, and philosophy, man? This man, he lived from 150 to 250, from 150 to 215 AD, man. And what did he do? He created this school of Alexandria, man. To do what? To teach religion, which God doesn't deal with. right? The Catechetical School of Alexandria, man, a school of Christian theologians and bishops and deacons in Alexandria. So just so you know, I mean, Alexandria was the center of knowledge in the ancient world, man. All kind of folly came out of Alexandria, including teachings on a very popular false gods, man, like Serapis, for example. Says the teachers and students of the school were influential in many early theological controversies of the Christian church. The teachers and students of the school were influential in many of the early theological controversies of the Christian church. This man was a convert to Christianity. All right. Let's see if I have anything here on his early life. Just 1 second. Because remember, it's the Israelites that's supposed to teach the Most High's word. And this guy certainly was no Israelite. All right, so it doesn't speak on his life here. Right. Let's see what we can find with a quick search. Parents were pagans. Definitely shows that he was not an Israelite. Was a Christian apologist, missionary to the Greek cultural world, teacher at this particular school. Parents of Titus were Athenian pagans. This man was not an Israelite, man. Athenian pagans, man. Greeks, man. Edomites, according to the Bible. Do you know what God says about Edomites in the Bible? There is no way an Edomite can build the kingdom of the Most High God. And this guy was an Edomite, right? We'll look at what the Most High says about the Edomites, right? Real quick. But I just wanted to show you guys that this other church father, okay, straight up church father, that's two witnesses showing you these church fathers as philosophers, man. And here's what they had, this second church father had to say concerning philosophy, right? Which is against God, all right? Clement of Alexandria said, before the advent of the Lord, philosophy was necessary to the Greek for righteousness. Where in the Bible does God say that philosophy brings about righteousness? It's not in there. But one of your church fathers says philosophy was necessary for the Greeks for righteousness before the Lord, their Lord, who is Jesus Christ, the image of the damn beast. It says, and now it becomes conducive to piety. One of your church fathers just said, philosophy is conducive to piety. Philosophy brings about piety, family? Let's look up this word conducive here, right? Philosophy is the same thing as piety. Piety is a devotion to God, man, to Yahweh. This church father, this pagan, This Greek, who God hates, by the way, and we'll pull out all the scriptures on that, says philosophy is conducive to piety, man. Right? Conducive. Good for. Philosophy is good for piety. Philosophy is good for worshiping God. Philosophy is helpful to worshiping God. Philosophy is instrumental in worshiping God. Philosophy is calculated to produce the worship of God, man. Is this true? You who believe in the Most High God, you're telling me that's what philosophy is good for? This is completely against scriptures. You know? Philosophy is favorable to the worship of the Most High, or to a commitment to the Most High. Philosophy is encouraging to commitment to the Most High. You get the idea. This is the foundation on which the Christian church is built. These men, who you believe are righteous men, but are really devils. Let's get into it. Okay. So these men established the intellectual and doctrinal foundations of a religion called Christianity, right? They established Christianity, right, and not truth, which we've been looking at. What's the difference? There is what Christianity is. Christianity is an Abrahamic monotheistic religion. Okay? It says, based on the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. Damn sure, the image of the beast, but not the Messiah. It is the world's and there's a difference. It's the world's largest. Here's a clue that this thing is not good. It is the world's largest and most widespread religion, with roughly 2.4 billion followers, comprising around 31.2% of the world's population, man. Didn't God say, wide is the gate that leads to destruction, and narrow is the way that leads to life, and few find it? Let's read that. If you were ever looking for a wide gate, 2.4 billion out of 8 or 9 billion people is certainly a wide gate. Right? After Christianity, and you know, in this time, when you listen to certain sources, they tell you in the lead of Christianity now is Islam, another false religion, idol worship, and a doctrine of devils, man. Right? God doesn't deal with no religion, none. Right? And that's what the scriptures teach. So let me see here. It says here, enter through the narrow gate. This is Matthew 7:13 and 14. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. Okay? Christianity is the wide gate, man, and the broad road. You understand? The principal one, right? That's what the scriptures teach, right? The Most I tell you, but small is the gate, and narrow the way that leads to life. And what happened? Only a few even find it. Well, you found it today. The narrow way is to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High under the tutelage of a Israelite by blood, man. This is what God told you in Psalm the 147th chapter, man. That he showed his word to Jacob, his statutes and judgments to Israel, man. So if you want his word, that's where you have to go to get it. You don't go to Christianity with 2.4 billion followers, man. You know, with 31.2% of the world population in its grasp. That's not where you go to get it, right? Okay, let's read on. So they established Christianity, not truth, the church fathers. What's the difference? We just defined Christianity. It's a religion, man. You know? Let me keep reading a little bit here. It says its adherents are known as Christians. Its adherents, known as Christians, are estimated to make up a majority of the population in 157 countries and territories. Christians believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God, which he's not. Jesus Christ is the name of the image of the beast. Yahweh Shai is the Son of God, whose coming as the Messiah was prophesied in the Hebrew Bible, called the Old Testament in Christianity and chronicled in the New Testament. Christianity remains culturally diverse in the West and Eastern branches, and doctrinally diverse concerning justification, the nature of salvation, ecclesiology, ordination, and Christology. The creeds of various Christian denominations generally hold in common, here comes the folly, Jesus as the Son of God, the Logos incarnate, who ministered, suffered, and died on a cross, but rose from the dead. For, here it is, this is the biggest lie of all time. In, this is the biggest lie of all time. And then after that, they tell you the lie of who the Israelites are. And they tell you that it's the Israelis in Israel, when it's in fact the descendants of the transatlantic slave trade, and that's pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, 45 to 48, 68, Baruch 4:6, and so on. It tells you Christ died on the cross but rose from the dead for the salvation of humankind. And that's an outright lie. Okay. And we're going to prove that today with the scripts. Got about 25 more minutes. It says, so what's the difference? Christianity is a damn religion, okay? And it teaches the salvation of humanity, man, right? Which the Bible doesn't teach. All right, so did God say to form religions? No. Here's what God says about religion in James 1:27, okay? This is the only religion the Most High has anything to do with. James 1, we go down to 27. It says, pure and undefiled religion before our God and Father is this: to follow Christianity? Is that what this says? To be a Muslim? Is that what this says? To practice Buddhism? Is that what this says? To worship the universe? To practice witchcraft? To be a good person? Is that what this says? The Most High says pure religion and undefiled is to care for orphans and widows in their distress. Number one. And here's the other one that barely anyone, okay, is doing. This is the narrow path. To keep oneself from being polluted by the world, man. This is the thing that most people are not doing. So they are not following the religion of God. People say they follow God and they keep Valentine's Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Diwali, and any host of other sacrifices to devils, man. Right? Now, well, Brother Micah, what do you mean sacrifices to devils? These are just fun things. No, they're not. Right? The Most High tell you that the sacrifices that the heathen sacrifice is to demons, man. not to him. So you're not supposed to participate in any of these wicked sacrifices. Christmas and Halloween and gay pride and you name it. This 1 Corinthians 10 and verse 20, it says, but I say that the things with the Gentile sacrifice, they sacrifice to devils, man, and not to God. And I would not that you should have fellowship with devils, man. Here's the kicker. You people, you Negroes principally, all right? You cannot drink of the cup of Yahweh and the cup of devils, man. You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table or Yahweh's table and the table of devils, man. Do we provoke Yahweh to jealousy? Are we stronger than he? You can't be partaker in both of the tables. You gotta choose one or the other. And I know you guys know very well, no man can have two masters. He's gonna love one and hate the other. So if you love the world, guess what? You hate the Most High. Let me pull out this other one. Friendship with the world, right, is enmity with the Most High. James 4:4. James 4:4. Ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with God? What's enmity, man? Enmity, the state of feeling of being actively opposed. You're in opposition. It's hostility to God, man. Your friendship with the world is hostility to God. You keeping New Year's, that's hostility to God, man. Christmas, that's hostility to God. Diwali, hostility to God. Chinese New Year, hostility to God. Thanksgiving is hostility to God. Animosity towards God, antagonism towards God, friction, antipathy, dissension from God, rivalry with God, man. That's what your friendship with the world represents. And then the Most High tell you plain, because he don't mince words, whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of God, man. These so-called church fathers that many Israelites look up to, worship, follow, respect, are enemies of God. Because they're philosophers, man. And devils, man. Greeks. People of the prince of darkness, according to the scriptures. But the world has been pulled over the black nation's eyes so that they don't know the difference between God's friends and his enemies. And if you desire not to know, you never will. Thus saith the Most High. You know, you don't want to know, he's going to blind you. You don't want to know, he's going to blind you. One second here. Okay. And then shall the wicked be revealed, 2 Thessalonians 2 from verse 8. Then shall the wicked be revealed, whom Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So there is some people who are wicked, Okay, they're considered the wicked, which means they can't do any good. The Most High said that man will be revealed, right? Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan. There is a certain people whose coming is after the working of Satan. When we go to Daniel 9:26, we'll see who these people are. They come with all power. They come with power, family. Beware. They come with signs, family, which means they're convincing. And they come with lying wonders, right? And they come with all deceivableness. So if there's a way to deceive you, they're using it, right? They come with all deceivableness of unrighteousness. In what? In them that perish. That's who they're able to deceive. This is who they're able to cause to be unrighteous. The people that perish, man, which is most people. Most people gonna perish. Because the way to life is narrow and few find it. Why do they perish? God said it's because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. Right? And because of this, and for this cause, God himself shall send them a strong delusion. So you don't believe the truth? The Most High going to send you a strong delusion for you to believe a lie. So that everybody that doesn't believe the truth is going to be damned, destroyed, set apart for the culling of the Most High. Because they had no love for the truth, but they had pleasure in unrighteousness. Your church fathers had no love for the truth, but they have pleasure in unrighteousness. They're bigging up people who are pushing philosophies and the doctrines of devils. And these are the ones responsible for building your churches. Every last one of them. They have taught the founders of every last one of your churches, whether it be Pentecostal, Catholic, Anglican, whatever the hell it is, these guys are the foundation. The Roman Catholic Church is the foundation of all those churches. And they still hold to the satanic doctrines of them, including this one big one here, which is the salvation of all humanity. Did the Most High, or Yahweh, teach the salvation of humanity? The answer is no, he did not. That is man's doctrine. And we're going to look at these few scriptures on it, and then we'll wrap up for today, and we'll be back next Shabbat, with to continue. All right, let's go to Mark 15 and verse 24. See if I can get this here. Mark, 15. And verse 24, it says, what? That's not what I want. Matthew, what am I saying? It said Mark, like what? Matthew 15 and 24. It says, but he answered and said, I am not sent. Oh, I'll go from okay. I'll read verse 21 first. Then Yahushua went thence and departed into the coast of Tyre and Zidon. And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast, and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devil. But he answered her not a word. And you're going to find out that this woman was a Greek, man, an Edomite. That's why Yahushua didn't answer her a damn word, because he hates Edomites. You know, he answered another word, and his disciples came and besought him, saying, even his disciples, they hate this woman too. They said, send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yahushua is like, I'm not even gonna answer this woman because I wasn't sent to nobody but the lost sheep of the house of Israel. That's out of Christ's own mouth. So when you see all men and all of these things, he's talking about everyone to whom this thing pertains, which is the Israelites. And I have a few other scriptures to show you. And if it's not that, you need to explain what these scriptures mean, because they're very plain. Yahushua said plainly, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Right? Let's see here. Let's pull up a couple others. Let's go to Luke 1. Right, and I think we went from 68. From 68 says, Blessed be Yahweh, God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people. He visited and redeemed everyone. He saved everybody. He visited and redeemed his people. The same people he gave the word to give it to their people. That's who it's for. The Great Commission, Matthew 28 and 19, go read the Greek, man. When he says all nations, that's a translation, man, to deceive you. It says all tribes. Go out and baptize all the tribes, man. Meaning immerse them in the gospel, right? Because the washing of water is by the word, not by actual water. Christ washed us from our unrighteousness in his own blood, not the water in the river. Right? That's a side point. It says, Blessed be Yahweh, God of Israel. He hath visited and redeemed his people, and have raised up a horn of salvation for us, man. Not everybody, for us, in the house of his servant David. And Black people have a big problem with this. Nobody ever does anything just for them. So they have stopped believing that anyone will do anything just for them, when God literally made the whole world just for them. That's 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, from verse 53, I believe, to 56. It says, Yahweh made the world for our sake, man. If not for the so-called Negro, which is the biblical Israelite, this planet wouldn't be here. God made the whole world for our sake, according to the scriptures. That's why they had to take out the Apocrypha from the Bible. It gives too much power to the Israelites, and it reveals clearly that the Edomite is the so-called Greek man, the so-called white man. And his descendants, they are the Edomites whom God hates. You know? Reading on, Blessed be the Lord God of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people then, and have raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David. Okay. And he did this, why? Well, he told the prophets that's what he was going to do, as he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets. So he did the same thing he spoke by the mouth of his holy prophets since the whole world began, man. He did it. He raised up a horn of salvation for us, and he redeemed his people. That is the promise that's in the prophets. It hasn't changed in the New Testament. What is the salvation? That we should be saved from our enemies and the hand of all that hate us. This is the salvation. Salvation is not for everybody. The so-called white man doesn't need to be saved from his enemies and the hand of all who hates him. He's the one oppressing everyone, man. The so-called Indian man doesn't need to be saved from his enemies and the hands of all that hate him, man. He's good. You know, Esau's trying to get the deals to stay solidified with him for the technology in the East and the West. He's not being oppressed, man. His nation is not being kept down, man. Go look and see how well they're doing economically. The so-called Chinese man doesn't need to be saved from his enemies and the hands of all that hate him, man. The so-called Asian man. That man's doing pretty damn well. You know, like this one prognosticator I listened to said, they're the Walmart of the world, man. Does Walmart need your help? Walmart don't need your help. The so-called Chinese man doesn't need your help, man. He doesn't need to be saved from his enemies. The North Korean doesn't need to be saved from his enemies and the hands of all that hate him. The South Korean doesn't need to be saved from his enemies and the hands of all that hate him, man. The so-called Negro needs to be saved from his enemies and the hands of all that hate him. Sonia Massey, I believe her name is, needed to be saved from that demon and the hands of all that hate her, man. She tried to call upon Jesus Christ and got shot in the head, man. But if she had called upon the true black Messiah, Yahweh Shai, that demon couldn't kill her that day. This is the salvation. I reading on in 72 to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. The Most High didn't make a holy covenant with the whole world. On Mount Sinai, he made a holy covenant with the nation of Israel. And this is with whom he shall fulfill it. I got a couple more scriptures on this, and then that's it for today. Let's go to Romans 9. Let's go to Romans 9. Whoops. Romans 9 from verse 1. I say the truth. This is Paul speaking. I say the truth in Christ. I lie not. My conscience also bear me witness in the Holy Spirit, that I have great heaviness and continual sorrow in my heart. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh. So Paul is concerned with his kinsmen according to the flesh, not the spirit, the flesh. The people with the same blood flowing in their veins as him. That's who he's concerned about. He said these people, just in case you're mistaken as to who they are, he said these people are Israelites in verse 4. And then there's the destruction of all religion. He says of all so-called Abrahamic religions. Paul tells you straight up, the Israelites are the ones to whom pertain the adoption, the glory, the covenants, the giving of the law, the service of the Most High, and God's promises. The covenants of God, He made covenants with who? Israelites. He gave who the law? Israelites. Who are the servants of God? The Israelites. The promises, including the heavenly kingdom, are for the Israelites. The brother goes on and said, these things, right, belong to who? Whose are the fathers? Which fathers? His ancestors. And then he slaps all religion in the face and says, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Christ came. Christ came concerning the flesh as another witness. That every word be established by 2 or 3 witnesses. As another witness, he tells you, concerning the flesh, Christ came for the Israelites. And then he ends the whole thing by saying, Amen. If we read on, it says, not as though the word of God have taken none effect. So it has been in the word. For what? They are not all Israel which are of Israel. So now he's making a separation now. He talked about concerning the flesh, but he's like, hey, all these guys who are Israel by the flesh, they're not all Israel. Right? Why would he say that? Here it is. Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children. So people will say, oh, we're all the seed of Abraham. We all came from the same person. Well, God says, not because you're the seed of Abraham are you all children, but in Isaac shall the seed of the Most High be called. Isaac gave birth to Jacob and Esau, and then the Most High chose between the two and chose Jacob. These are Israelites. But you cannot get the reward unless you are of blood and spirit. I'll read on. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of the Most High. That's why he said, not all Israel, they are not all Israel which are of Israel. Okay? They're not all Israelites who came from literally the loins of the man. Right? He said, hey, you see the children of the flesh? Who are the children of the flesh? The sinners, man. The ones are taken in adultery and so on and so forth. The works of the flesh, as the scripture says, are manifest. Adultery, fornication, so on and so forth. Paraphrasing. They're not, he said, these children, they're not the children of the God, of the Most High, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. What's the promise? At this time will I come and Sarah shall have a son. Not only this, but when Rebekah have conceived by one, even by her father Isaac, the children being not yet born, I want to get to this after. It's proving my same point though. I just don't want to get into this because I haven't reached that point yet. In any case, the children of the promise are counted for the seed. All right. What does that mean? Well, there was a child of the flesh and a child of the spirit. The child of the flesh was not counted for the seed. The child of the spirit was counted for the seed. This is a metaphor for showing that you need righteousness. You can't just have the flesh. That's why he says they are not all Israel which are of Israel. You understand? You need to have righteousness in order to be counted as the seed. You understand? Maybe if I read a little bit of it, you're gonna see. Because Esau and Jacob came from the same womb, but Jacob had the spirit and Esau didn't. And God hated Esau and he loved Jacob. So let me just keep reading then. For this is the word of promise, at this time will I come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also have conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children not yet being born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High, according to what? Works election. He just chose him. Might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. The Most High called Jacob, man. It was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. So the so-called white man gonna serve the so-called black man. He doesn't believe it's ever gonna happen, but this is exactly what's gonna happen. And that's pursuant to 2nd Ezra 6 and verse 9. As it is written, saith the Most High, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. They came from the same womb, but he loved Jacob and he hated Esau. What shall we say then? Is there unrighteousness with God? Right? Because God choose one child over the other? Hey, God forbid. For he saith unto Moses, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy, and I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. Now, this is a perfect wrap-up for our study because these so-called church fathers created religion in order to try to accost the favor of the Most High God. But here's what God said. First of all, this has nothing to do with you guys because you're a bunch of Greeks. Secondly, I will have mercy on whom I will have mercy. I will have compassion on whom I will have compassion. So he had mercy upon Jacob, me, and my people. He had compassion on who he'll have compassion, me and my people. Right? And then he goes and says this. All these church fathers that try to will their way into the favor of the Most High, it's not going to work. He says, so then, it is not of him that willeth, not just because you want to follow, nor of him that runneth, not just because you basically created an entire worldwide religion, built all these churches, made all this money, put in all this effort. That has nothing to do with it. It's not of him that willeth, nor of him that runneth, but of Yahweh that showeth mercy, man. It's not in what you did. It's in the fact Yahweh choose one over the next. So with that, all praise to the Most High. We're going to continue to look at these church fathers and compare them to what the Most High says in the Bible. Next week, Lord willing, same time, same place. In the meantime, peace to the Black nation who are actually the biblical Israelites. May you come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of your God, or you shall surely perish. To the other nations that are not Israelites, if you want to follow the Most High God, you need to come under the tutelage of an Israelite by blood in order to learn the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High in spirit and truth. And fortunately for you, I am one of those. And so you can follow this page and you will get the teachings that the Most High wants you to have for you to be able to keep his law, statutes, and commandments in spirit and in truth. And to the oppressor of the so-called Black nation, you're finished, right? The Most High has reserved for you eternal damnation and extinction, and you shall have it, okay? All praise to the Most High, and I will see you guys next week, Lord willing. Peace. Yeah, fam. Yeah, bro, Chris. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I'm up off. Did you catch anything?
I did. I caught some of it up until what did I catch?
No, you don't have to tell me. I just wanted to know if you
Yeah,
caught.
I caught quite a bit. Yes, we're basically, man, they're theologians, philosophers. I heard up until you started talking about they created the library in Alexandria.
Yeah.
And they were teaching, and then what was it you were reading? Where saying they came up with contradictory. Everything that they were teaching was contradictory to to the actual teachings, or contradictory to Christianity or something like that. I remember something.
Yeah. Basically, man, these guys, they're philosophers, man.
Philosophers, yes.
These guys are philosophers, man, and they created a religion out of their philosophies. These guys are busy bigging up Plato and all of these demons.
Yes, I heard that.
Yeah, man. And telling people like and the church is pushing these guys as the lights, basically. These guys are the foundation of the kingdom of the Most High, man, which is absolute just madness and folly. So yeah, man. Well, I glad you caught some of it, and stuff like that. That's basically it, man. This thing will probably, I don't know, have a 2-3 parts. I didn't even expect it to take that long. It was an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll see. Tipper said he was gonna be here, but I never see him.
No, I don't think he came on at all.
Yeah, I didn't see him. Yeah. What you doing? Oh, Shabbat Shalom, bro.
Shabbat Shalom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
bro.
you blow the trumpets.
Yeah, let me go blow that trumpet still.
Blow the trumpet. Yeah, I blew it already. Had the kids blow it.
Seeing. Yeah, I'm gonna go blow that trumpet, fam.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you dealing with for the day, though?
Right now, just we're about to eat just now.
Seeing.
Just relax,
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
What are you
here,
gonna
yo.
do?
I'm taking it easy, same way. Huh?
What do you got planned? Anything?
Nothing, man.
Maybe-
I'm taking it easy. That's it.
Maybe we could even go out later today.
You wanna go out today? You think we're gonna catch anybody, bro?
What-
Today on
what?
on a Monday evening, fam?
On a Sunday evening.
Hey, sorry, Sunday evening. Wow.
Wickedness happens every day, man.
That's true. That's true.
Go out every day. I'm sure we can find them doing something
That's true.
somewhere.
Well, where you wanna go? Where you wanna go?
I don't know. Let me see how things going. I'll give you a call and see.
Okay, yeah, at the very least though, tomorrow we should go out sometime in
Yeah.
the day, man.
I agree.
Yeah, like maybe 1 o'clock, we could just meet up and, you know what I mean? Go and take some cards and go spread the word, man.
No, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I agree. Yes.
All right, bro. Well, enjoy the evening, man. Have a restful time still and big up the family for me, man. Hello? You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Yeah.
You're breaking up.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, that's I think we should go out for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we will, man. Don't worry. All right?
All right.
Okay, bro.
Okay.
Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, man.
Shalom.
Shalom. Peace.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's right.
Okay.